Namaste, my beautiful queens. I consider it is my duty to talk about this subject, and it's more important than me doing pick up the cards. And I know you can find tons of information about it, but I can't stay silent. I'm receiving lots of emails lately that I have to stop doing these educational videos because people are, I'm gonna lose my 20,000 subscribers because people don't care about it. People don't want to know about it. If they wanted to know, they would go and find the information that I just do. I have to take care of myself first of all, of my own. But you see, this is how the dark was winning all the time. By simply people being afraid to stand up. This is how Inquisition lasted 600 years. People were tortured, people were burned at a stake, and the fear would keep people silent because it was suffocating fear. Now the fear is different. If you just try to talk, well, you can lose your job. Then you lose your job, you lose your income, you are on the street. So it's still, yes, but it's still, there are people who talk. So this subject, I must talk about it. I just must it, even though I'm deadly tired already, and my voice is, I'm losing my voice, but I will talk about it. Why you do not leave an abuser. I will give you the information which I didn't find in English. This is why I already told you I'm a member of several group of professional psychologists, professors and authors, which share this information with people, and I will translate it and I will explain it to you. And if I don't have time to do it in one video, please listen to a second part. Why you know someone who is being abused, psychologically, physically, emotionally, spiritually abused, and she is staying in this relationship. And I bet that many of you who are listening to me right now as well, sorry, my telephone, it's my auntie calls my mom, why you could be also one of them. Why she is being abused. She is being abused in all kinds of ways, and she stays. Why a woman stays with an abuser. And the reason is very scary and very sad. She stays because she's unwell herself. She is ill. She is ill, and she had been ill and unwell for a very long time. Because that illness, unwellness deep inside is holding her in a relationship with abuser, boyfriend or husband for years. And I must explain you why. Because if you don't know why, we cannot change anything. Society, unfortunately, of course, sometimes society does horrific thing in blaming a victim. And I'm not trying to blame a victim. But if, unfortunately, if a woman stays, it's not just the reason I have nowhere to go. Unfortunately, this is not the main reason. I have nobody to help me, and I have nowhere to go. This is not the main reason. The main reason is deep inside. This reasons are deep inside, because when you change inside, then you start planning, and then you meet people who can help your organization, who can help you. But what are the reasons why a woman stays with an abuser? You want to know the reason? Because abuser is inside. There is abuser which lives deep inside of her. This is the reason. How that abuser appears deep inside, and how that abuser keeps you staying with an abuser. Or even if you leave one abuser, you go and find yourself, you go in the same trap. It starts in childhood. Because when you are small, you only have those people who are the most important for you, the world for you, your parents. And they tell you how you need to treat yourself. They put it into you what you deserve, what you don't deserve. Unfortunately, how many of us were loved unconditionally? How many? Very, very little of us were loved unconditionally. So if a child is lucky enough to be born in such a family, when a child is loved unconditionally, then he knows, he grows up. This girl is growing up thinking, I am good, I am wonderful. She thinks that the good attitude towards her, loving her, accepting her, that this is something what is meant to be. That this is normal to be treated with respect. It's normal to be treated with love. It's normal to be treated with acceptance. Right? But how many of us did that? But if you are neglected, if you're abandoned, if you're only loved for something, you do something not right, your parents make you feel guilty, you feel as nothing. Girls, up to 3 years ago, I used to say I'm nobody and I am nothing. I still sometimes do it when I'm really down. I'm nothing, I'm useless. Because it was got into me in my childhood and in my youth, was beaten into me. I was severely abused. And though, when you grow up and you find a partner who abuses you, you think deep inside, this is what you deserve. This is how you start thinking of yourself. If your parents abused you psychologically, it's not necessarily physically, but if your parents abused you psychologically, abused you, abandoned you, neglected you physically, spiritually, this becomes your attitude towards yourself. If mama thinks I'm stupid, piece of shit, I am nothing, capable of nothing, you are growing up automatically thinking this about yourself. I am nothing. I am capable of nothing. I'm capable of nothing. I'm crazy. I am weird. Shut up and don't speak because you're weird. This is how your mother treated you, how your father treated you. This is how you grow up and keep on treating you. And you keep on thinking you are nothing, you are useless. Then you meet a partner who starts mistreating you. And you stay with that partner because he becomes something like a shadow of your parents. You tell you deep inside, you tell yourself, this is because I deserve it. I don't deserve nothing better than that. When I was getting married at age 21, it's a long story, it will be in my book, forced into marriage. And a man was 25 years older than me. And I did not love him. It was a nightmare. And deep inside me, 21-year-old knockout beauty, deep inside, I told myself, this is all I deserve. I don't deserve nothing better than this. This is why so important for you. If you can go into therapy for childhood traumas, if you can go to therapy, go to individually to psychologists. They now all work online. All of them work online. You can find very low prices. If you can't do it yourself, read the books, go Luna and Soul website, do this healing, because this has all happened because this, I already said a million times, love to yourself, love yourself. The absence of love to yourself, this is your matrix. This causes everything around you, and first of all your relationship with your partner, because if you were brought up thinking that you are worthless, then this is what you keep on thinking about yourself, and this is what you bring into your relationship. It's unfortunately we choose very often a partner which reminds our parent, a father or a mother. So if the partner brings you down, probably not even physically, but brings you down emotionally, laughs at you, ignores you, or uses such called gaslighting, then this is the mechanism which works from your childhood. This is how it works. So you simply have the abuser inside of you. An abuser which you developed while you were abused by your parents. And this abuser inside of you finds excuses for this abuser you're living with. And this is how you stay. Of course, again, if you were growing up, have you seen, actually, it's a rare, being honest with you girls, this is rare, a girl which was brought up in love, a girl which was brought up being loved, being cherished, being spoiled, a so spoiled girl, they grow up and they usually marry a man who worships them, because she is sure deep inside that she deserves the best. And if a man doesn't treat her the way her father treated her, her mother treated her, she doesn't stay with him. Only those stay with abuser which deep inside consider this is what they divorce. They deserve divorce. Because when you have that self-love, you are capable of reading of the vibration of that man, that he has tendency to be abusive. Even before you get you start living with that person. You vibrationally can sense that there is something is wrong there. There are some red flags there. He tries to seem better than he is. You will notice, him raising his brow, or him smirking kind of, or him looking, for example, I will tell you very simple. I was very young. I was 20 or 19. And I liked this guy so much. He looked, like a incredibly beautiful man, a young boy. He was 20. And you know how everything in me was just cut off when I showed him a puppy? Because if you have any heart at all, you cannot not react to a puppy or to a kitten. Your heart just melts if you have abilities to feel. And I show him this puppy, and his eyes turn completely like ice cold, and he says such words, I don't really care much about those. That was it. I intuitively understood he's cold. Even such little thing. But for that you have to understand who you are. For that you have to get rid of the abuser inside of you. You have to heal the childhood traumas, meet this inner child of yours. You see, it's not just a woman stays with the abuser. because she has nowhere to go, because she has no one to stand up for her. No, it's because she's convinced this is what she deserves. The victim of an abuser, she doesn't have the healthy self-esteem. It's terrible if a woman doesn't have any help from outside, but it's much worse when the woman does not have the help inside of her. And then we are having what? We're having abuser victim. We're having narcissist empath. It's inside of you, there is no one who would stand up for you. Inside of you, there is no one who's gonna protect you. That abuser inside of you allows this abuser outside of you to mistreat you. Because when you were little, there was nobody who would stand up for you, and you were too small to stand up for you. You could not protect yourself. And there was nobody who could... Okay, don't cry. See, those wounds are still there in me as well. No one to protect you, so that abuser becomes you. You become your own abuser, and you say, this is what you deserve. This is what you have to handle. This is what you have to deal with. Of course, it absolutely doesn't excuse the asshole who is abusing you. He's also sick. We are having two sick people. He also has, because he was not born already being like this. But what happens, why I'm telling you, you cannot meet a good man, not cannot, but it's little chances of you to meet the one you want to meet until you become one. Like attracts like. What we have with empath narcissist, we have the wound and the wound attracting each other. The wounded and the wounded. It's just you behave as a victim because of your wounds. He behaves an abuser because of these wounds. It's an effect of two people. Another very important thing I want to explain you. I will try to explain. This is called effect of two people in one, or so-called double personality. When I take in a card, I'm asking the question, who we are dealing with. This man who I am asking this question about, who is this man? Who am I dealing with? And I'm pulling out this is the answer to my question. What am I exactly dealing with? That's pretty much what I'm dealing with. If I'm getting the reversed card, this is double personality. So you are dealing with double-faced personality, two personality. This is another reason why you allow abusers in your life. Please, girls, try to understand me, try to hear me. Effect of two people. You remember in fairy tales, right? There is a mother and there is a stepmother, right? And a mother, like in Cinderella, usually dies. And because she's dead, she's not there anymore, she cannot protect her daughter against the evil stepmother. So this fairy tale is explanation of the psychology of a child, which tries to deal and survive the different behavior of a mother or a father. So when a mother is kind to a child, because, even abusive mothers are not abusive 24 hours a day. When a mother is kind to a child, so in a head of a child, now this is a real mother. So when a mother becomes angry and she yells at the child and she screams or she slaps her or she calls her name, now this mother becomes a stepmother. So stepmother and a mother becomes in ahead of a child one woman. Same happens with the father. And I've seen this way too often. When a father is, when he is not drunk, when he's sober, it wasn't my father, but I've seen other fathers like this. This is spread. He's wonderful, he's kind, and he takes his daughter to a park, something. Then Papa becomes drunk. He comes home drunk and he starts beating everybody. He becomes dangerous. He becomes unpredictable. So this also happens. That father who loves me and this father who is dangerous. And the brain and the child cannot different the first one from a second one. The mother and a stepmother, a father who loves and a father who abuses. And then what happens? The child brings both of them together. Okay? Until unfortunately the child grows up and child start to think that the reasons of such behavior of parents is his fault. Like, it's my fault that mother here acts like a mother and here acts like a stepmother. So child tries to survive and child hopes to be loved by parents. And this hope never ends. Girls, I know that many of you understand me. I can even see sometimes a 45-year-old man who tries to he keeps on trying to do something so his mom is gonna love him as much as she loves her brother. Okay? I am still trying to do something to impress my mom because I know I can't barely impress my mom. This is my own, you see, I'm sharing my own experience. There are 3 kids, me and my 2 brothers. My 2 brothers have a different father. And my mom, she loves dearly my first brother, Alexander. It's her favorite because he's so like her. And my brother, Seryoja, he's gone in 2014, the year I knew my twin flame. No, this year was horrible, like it wasn't horrible enough. I knew him in 2014. And him and me, we were outsiders. We were those weirdos. We were indigo. We saw weird things. We were talking weird things. We were reading weird books. So me and him, we always were trying to do something so our mom loves us as much as our first brother. And then he was gone. In 2014, he was an artist. I showed you some of his paintings. And I still try to do something to impress my mom. But unless I am a movie star or something, I don't, she doesn't believe in me at all. It's just like this. She loves me. I now only age 45. I understand that she loves me in her own way, but it's not, I'm still trying to do something to impress my mom. You know, I do something and I receive Pulitzer Prize. I doubt it, but you know, it's even when people call my mom and they tell her how but she's a genius. Have you read what she has written? But I didn't give her my book. She didn't read my book because I had to describe my childhood, and I know she's not gonna like it, so I don't give it to her. But still, when hundreds of people are telling her, but she's a genius, but she's unbelievable, my mom just makes this funny face and she's like, well, it's probably just, probably, I don't know. But she doesn't believe in it. She absolutely doesn't believe that I'm capable of something magnificent. So I'm still trying to to impress my mom. Anyway, so when you always keep on believing that you will do something to make your mom love you. And what happens when we grow up? Why we become these doormats? Why we waiting for them for I don't know how long? Why we hoping? Why we begging? Because then we become grown. Then we find ourselves a partner who's going to be something similar, because we subconsciously do it, similar to a father or to a mother or to both of them. And then they don't give us love, and we fight till our last breath, so he will wake up. We call it wake up, especially twin flame. So he will wake up and he'll understand that I am the most wonderful thing ever happened to him. We do what we were doing with our mother and father, keep on doing, because believe me, I seen 60-year-old man who still tries to impress his father lawyer, okay, because his brother went and became a lawyer, and he became something else, and then his father wasn't happy. He still wants his father to love him. We never get rid of it. Childhood trauma, get into it, heal it. And what happens? My beauties, what happens? We meet the partner who doesn't love us. And we're ready to sell our soul. We were ready to do the spells. We're ready to... I know what it is. You think I don't know? Especially twin flames, they know. I would totally, like, at one moment, I remember I was like at the ocean. I would say, what do you want? I would look up and say, what do you want? You want my soul? What do you want? What do you want from me? I agree. Just, I will do anything. What do I need to do? But the thing is, of me saying and doing is a different thing. I can be brought to the point when I can say it, but when actually the dark clouds cover that beach, and I understand that I better take it back, then I would take it back, because one life is not worth it. One life is a blink of an eye, is not worth it for you to go and betray yourself and what you are and what you believe. But this is what we do. Instead of being loved, we are ready to be doormat. We are ready to wait. We are ready to pray. We are ready to do spells. We are ready to do anything just for him to love us, just like with our parents. Because we have that abuser inside of us. That abuser inside of us called lack of self-love. And this is why same with abuser, because abuser doesn't abuse you all the time, right? He's not beating you up 24 hours a day. There is one day when he's fine and he's kind, and you tell yourself, okay, this is my real father, and you start believing that it's going to be this way, that everything's going to be okay. It's a wonderful husband. He loves her, she loves him, and then he clicks and turns into a beast. And when he turns into a beast, then abuser inside says, well, maybe it's your fault. Maybe you are not good enough. Maybe you're not smart enough. Maybe you're not this enough, that enough. And you're staying with the abuser. So the first thing is healing the childhood traumas. Healing the inner child. Healing those wounds. Because we all need love. But until we get rid of that inner abuser, which tells us we don't deserve that love. We don't deserve to be loved. Tell me, please, answer me one question here, my queens. How many of you can say you love yourself more than the man you are thinking about? Huh? Anybody? Which one of you can tell me, I love me more than that man? Can you say it? I'm working on it. I still love him more than myself. I'm working on loving me more. I admit, he's still more to me than me. And until you say, I love me more than anyone else, you're going to have that abuser inside of you. The way out of this hell, the way out of this trap, you know who you choose to love when you have that abuser inside? You choose for loving the one who is the least possible to give you love. Do you hear me? When you have an inner abuser, you choose for loving the one who least possible is capable of give you love back. The way out is inside of you. The lack of self-love is illness. Imagine it's a flu, it's a disease. It doesn't let you live to your fullest. Lack of self-love. Only then you're going to become a queen and stop being a victim when you get rid of this. Get rid of this inner abuser. Admit that you have that inner abuser. Forgive yourself for not loving yourself and start taking the baby steps on recovery. That is a way out. This, my beautiful queens, I hope it was helpful. I'm so exhausted right now. I am wishing you all the best. Namaste.